Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm excited to be diving back headfirst into YouTube content. I took a bit of an unintended break due to schoolwork, but I'm back now as I'm on break, so I'm excited to be making a video today. Today's video, if you've read the title and checked the thumbnail, is about this little beautiful chair that is sitting under my ass right now, the Herman Miller Aeron chair. So the purpose for today's videos, as with pretty much a lot of my videos, is because I couldn't find a video about this chair or a review about this chair when I was looking to buy it many months ago, from a streaming or gaming perspective. I could find reviews about this chair from a university student's perspective, which is great because I'm a university student. I could find it in a work environment and an office environment and almost every other environment possible, but I couldn't really find one from someone like myself who is a streamer, gamer, content creator, or whatever, who had written a review or made a YouTube video about it that really in-depthly explained what I was after. So that made my purchase a little bit harder when I was, trying to buy this chair. So I wanted to make this video and hoping that it helps somebody else in finding out if this is the right chair for them or if it is not the right chair for them. So let's get started. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, by the way, my name's Opti. I'm an Australian YouTube creator and Twitch streamer. There's a link in the description to my Twitch channel if you like. I create tech, Twitch, and gaming content, and today we'll consider this a bit of tech and gaming, considering it's in my gaming setup. I guess we'll consider it part of that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to get back onto my weekly upload schedule, so let's get started with this video. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly mention some specifications about my chair. That way you know exactly the model and the build that I have of my chair. I'm using the Herman Miller Aeron size C. You can get a size A, B, or C. Size C being the largest chair, size A then being the smallest. The good thing about this chair is it caters over its three sizes to 99% of the population globally, whereas something like the Herman Miller Embody only caters to about 90% because it doesn't have size options. This chair caters to nearly 100% of the population with its size, and because I am 6'4" and a larger bodied person, I needed a size C chair. Specifications can be found on any dealer's website or Herman Miller's website. One other thing to mention as well is the headrest that I am sitting on at the moment. That does not come with the chair. If you've often seen, you're probably wondering where did you get the headrest from or anything like that. If you've seen a Herman Miller before, you only get up to here with the chair when you buy it on, purchase. You have to buy the headrest separately through Amazon, eBay, or a third-party dealer online. With that now out of the way, let's talk about the positives. Let's first and foremost talk about the comfort of this chair, because that's something that I didn't really expect. I was very apprehensive towards buying this chair because I'd never really sat or used a mesh office chair before, so I didn't really know what to expect with this chair. So I wanted to get my hands on one in a display store or a shop or something like that to sit in one, and I found one here in Sydney that I could go and sit in, and I immediately sat in it straight away. And when you sit in this chair for that first time, you're obviously going to be different. Everybody's different, a personal taste. If you don't like mesh chairs, you're not going to get this feeling. But you feel like you're being carried or you're floating when you're being supported by this chair. This chair, the way the seat is designed, it's not like a gaming chair. It's designed to support you the entire time that you're sitting in it. The chair is warranted for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week usage for 12 years. Because of the incredible build quality of this thing. I'll include some footage of the actual underneath of the seat in this video, but it's just so well built. There's so much adjustability underneath. You can move the actual seat forward or back, and you can tilt it forward or backwards depending, on your personal body type and what you find comfortable and don't. And then also I've talked about the base of the seat. We also have to talk about the back. When I lay back in this chair, I feel like my back is being supported. When I lay back in a gaming chair, it often feels like I'm laying against a wall or on a floor or on a brick wall or something like that, and it's painful and uncomfortable to sit in. This chair, again, when I lay back in it, is giving me a complete total support of my lower and upper back, and then with the headrest, because I am taller, it supports my neck extremely well. Prior to buying this chair, I've had two gaming chairs previously, one from DX Racer and one from Vertigear, and in both of those chairs I found quite often that I would experience back, shoulder and neck pain quite often because it wasn't supporting me as well, and it often made me slouch. I think that's just a natural thing when you start gaming to slouch over and to sit forward. It's a very natural thing. It happens all the time with everybody. But this chair supports you even, I feel like when you are slouching, you shouldn't slouch in it. You should be sitting up straight. But I do feel when I'm not sitting fully back in this chair, I still do feel much more supported in this chair than I do a gaming chair. The second area of positives I'd like to raise attention to is the adjustability of the chair, because this chair is just amazing. On a gaming chair, the most adjustment you could ever get is, tilting the actual back of the seat back, moving the armrests up or down, potentially forward, is maybe the height of the chair is all you could do. This, you can increase the height of the chair. You can make it really tall to almost a bar kind of height, I think. You can make it really small as well. It's got a total beautiful range. You can increase the height of the armrests. You can increase the length forwards and backwards of the armrest, and they go in and out as well. You can tilt the seat forward and backward, as I mentioned before. You can move it forward and backward. You can move the seat backward and forward. There's just so much to do in this chair. And then, obviously, of course, you've got the tilting in this chair. I don't have it on tilting at all. I have it on very, very minimal tilt. That way, I sit up straight all the time. You may like tilt potentially, but I'm not much of a fan of a tilt. I think the position that I have it in the highest tension of tilt possible, to where I barely tilt in it, is very good for me, because I find myself often when I'm in a gaming chair and it's not locked, I tilt back randomly just out of habit to just kind of lay back. Whereas this chair, if I lay back, I'm supported immediately. The next positive area I want to talk about is the design of the chair. It's a beautiful looking chair. The colors are amazing. You can customize it depending where you get it from to different areas. I've gone the all graphite combination possible. You can get chrome and aluminium option as well, and I think you can get a white and a gray one, but I've gone the graphite option everywhere, and it's a beautiful chair, and it fits in beautifully into my setup. If you want to check out my setup, I'll link it up in the card above and in the description to see how it really blends into my setup. Now let's talk about this chair actually in a gaming and streaming perspective. I listed out some pros. Let's talk about it now actually as a gamer, streamer, and creator. If you find your gaming chair comfortable, I can't see you not finding this comfortable. Obviously, your gaming chair is going to probably, if you're looking at this video, causing you some kind of discomfort, or whatever chair you're using is causing you some kind of discomfort, and you're in the market for a new one. This chair, to me, was an easy sell right away before I bought it. Once I'd sat in it in that shop, I knew straight away that I would grow to absolutely love it, and I have grown to absolutely love it over the last 2 months. When I sit at my desk, I don't feel, that I'm any further away, or it's making me sit uncomfortably to where I can't reach my keyboard and mouse to play, Apex or Fortnite or anything that I'm playing. It really does support my back and put me in a fantastic position when I'm gaming. I'm sitting up straight and right, staring at my monitor and not slouching over. I think that was my biggest problem beforehand with gaming chairs, is I don't think it supported and encouraged me to support my back properly as well as it should have. For me, especially with how often I spend time at my desk, I'm spending 8, 9, 10 hours a day at my desk with streaming content and university as well. I'm spending a ton of time at my desk. So when I was looking at the price of this, obviously this price of this chair, Australian, I believe, was about 1,800 Australian dollars. It's a very pricey chair. But the way that I looked at it for me personally is that it was an investment for the future. If I went on with a gaming chair any further longer, there's potential that I could have done some damage permanently to my back and body. I was still getting a partial shoulder pain when I didn't have the headrest for this chair. I didn't have the headrest for about a month of using this chair, and I discovered that was a major thing for me, that it wasn't supporting my neck, but that's obviously not going to be for everybody because I am 6'4" and a larger person. So naturally mine, without the headrest, I hang over the top of it naturally. With the addition of the headrest supporting my neck, head, and shoulders, I feel completely comfortable in this chair. I think the only thing that I would change about this chair is the actual height of the back. The height of the back is beautiful for the average person. However, if you are like me and you are taller, having to spend an extra $300 to $400 on a headrest is a lot, considering you're spending $1,800 to $1,900 on a chair straight away. I often found as well, when I read reviews online, that people would mention that if you weren't sitting in it correctly, it would cause some discomfort or pain. And I kind of read those reviews and went, how does that make any sense? Just sit in it properly. And I will agree with those people, absolutely. If you're not sitting in the chair correctly, there will be a slight level of discomfort, basically telling you you're not sitting in the chair correctly. If you're slouching over at your desk, more than normal, than what you normally would, you're going to get some pain and discomfort from this chair. If you're trying to lay down almost and slouching down in this chair, you're going to get some discomfort as well from it. But again, this chair can be fully adjusted so it supports you very well in those means. But it's a great reminder when you get that level of discomfort to get up and stretch for a second and then come back and sit properly in the chair, and you won't have any problems, because that's my solution to those problems quite often. I just recently, over New Year's, did a 12-hour stream where I sat at my desk, yes, for 12 hours and streamed for 12 hours. And I really was interested to see how my chair would support me for those 12 hours, because I was at my desk for, I'd probably say, 10 and a half, 11 of those hours in that stream alone, which meant I was probably at my desk that day for probably close to maybe 18 hours or so that day, which is a long time, and it's a good stress test to see if the chair is comfortable or not still. And I can absolutely tell you, by the end of the time, I think it was about 2 or 3 in the morning when I finished that stream, it was still absolutely as comfortable as it was when I started. Obviously, I still recommend, getting up and stretching every so often, not sitting in this chair. This chair should not be used as an excuse to just sit down for 14 hours at a time. You should still get up, stretch, walk around your house, go to the bathroom, grab a drink or something like that every couple of hours after sitting in a chair, no matter how good this chair is. One thing I'd also like to add as well when we're talking about this chair versus a gaming chair is I've used a lot of gaming chairs over my time, and having streamed for a couple of years now and understanding, what a gaming chair is in this chair, and having used them for stream, I found myself with a gaming chair to quite often, when I would not be in a great position ergonomically that wasn't supporting my back or my neck or anything like that, that I'd get tired a lot quicker in my streams, and it would make me feel really lethargic and not fantastic by the time I ended my stream. When I would go to end my stream, I'd be like, yes, I'm ending my stream, I can get away from my desk. Whereas now with the Herman Miller chair, I'm like, I have to end stream, I have to get out of this chair. Ew. It's made the process of streaming for me a lot easier and a lot more comfortable now that I've got a really solid chair. So that alone for me, the whole comfort and my overall happiness and level of energy is totally worth the investment for me. In my gaming setup as well, this chair made me far more aware to the other ergonomic errors that I was making in my setup. I found soon after I bought this chair that there was some elements of my setup that were not exactly correct ergonomically and, physical health wise. After I had this chair for a little while, I noticed that I was still getting some kinds of pains in my neck after I would end a stream or something like that. I always just attributed it to using my phone all the time. But I often kind of found that it would happen after I'd get away from my desk. And that often led me to believe that there was something wrong with my desk. And that indeed was the case. I didn't have my desk actually high enough where it should have been to support my arms and to support a straight line of sight from my neck. Prior to this chair, my desk was in a height that was suitable for my gaming chair. So this led me to raising the height of my desk, which raising the height of my desk supported my arms better, meaning my arms were more comfortable for longer periods of gaming, like my keyboard and such, and that my monitors were higher, so I have a more direct line of sight to my monitors than what I did before. And now I can tell you for sure that my setup is the most comfortable it has ever been. And I'm more than happy now to spend longer hours and longer periods of time here with this beautiful chair that's made me more aware to this and keeps me going at the same time. I think in the gaming space, ergonomics are extremely undervalued and underappreciated because we just get told and force-fed and shoved that gaming chairs are the best because we're gamers, we should just buy gaming chairs, yada, 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 etc., etc. When actually there's probably a better alternative out there, and this indeed is the better alternative. You can probably find something like this chair, not necessarily this chair, for cheap at a office supply store or something like that for a few $100s, and that would definitely support your back better than a gaming chair. It may not have the full adjustability or anything like this chair does, or the full capability and comfort level that this chair does, but it would certainly do a better job than a gaming chair. And don't get me wrong, there are some good gaming chairs out there. Not all of them are fantastic, not all of them are bad. Keep in mind when you're buying things, and if you are able to, try before you buy. Now let's talk about the cons and the negatives of this chair. First and foremost, let's start with the price. The price for this chair is, I paid about $1,800 for this chair approximately, which I believe, I could be wrong, I'll include the actual factual price at the current moment, is about $1,400, $1,500 US, or thereabouts. That's the big negative when people talk about this chair and they go, yeah, you should get a Herman Miller, and you go, whoa, no, hell no, that's too much money. I absolutely agree with you. I sat on the fence for about 12 months before I bought this chair, but then with the pandemic and the combination of working from home for university and streaming as well on top of that, I wasn't, as physical or walking around, as much as I normally would be. So I needed something that felt like my back was being supported at all times, and that, I could, enjoy and be comfortable in, as opposed to a gaming chair. That made the brunt of the cost a little less hard. Obviously, it's still $1,800, so it's still a very expensive chair, but the way I like to look at it is, for me personally, and for anyone out there who is a creator or who works from home, it is an investment for your health in your life overall for long periods of time. This chair's got a 12-year warranty on it, so it's going to last you at least 12 years at the absolute minimum. Most people seem to get about 20 out of their chairs by what they seem to be saying in reviews online. And to have that kind of 12-year guarantee of this is going to work for 12 years at the absolute bare minimum is really, assuring. And when you work it out, it's not that much money over every year, over a 12-year period. The next con that I'd like to talk about is the mesh fabric, or it's not fabric, mesh material, that's the word. Mesh office chairs, or ergonomic chairs in this instance, are not at all for everybody. A lot of people don't like the feel of a mesh fabric or material on them and supporting them. They prefer, an actual fabric chair as opposed to mesh, which is totally understandable, and that's a personal choice. If you enjoy a fabric but are still looking for a Herman Miller, I probably would most likely recommend the Embody chair over this one. It's a little pricier, but it's not mesh. But I think most people are okay with mesh chairs. I went down to a shop here in Sydney to try a chair out to see if I liked it or not, and I ended up walking out there with one. So I was very pleased when I walked out of there with a chair. So let me conclude this video, I kind of guess, and just say that this is a fantastic chair, and I would recommend it to almost everyone. The only thing that would be a huge drawback is the cost, obviously, but forgetting about cost and actual things of that nature and the actual product of the chair, my one worry would be the mesh office seat of the chair and the back of the chair, being the fact that not everybody likes mesh seats and mesh chairs in general. I think you need to really sit in a mesh chair before you decide to buy a mesh chair. Even if you just go to an office supply store, we have Officeworks here in Australia. I think you guys would have Staples or something like that in the United States. Just go to one of those stores if they're open and go and find a chair that has a mesh seat on it and sit in it and see if you like it. It won't give you the full indication if you like this chair or not, but it will give you a nice indication of whether or not it might or might not be the right path for you. That's going to do me for this video. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about this chair, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to try my best to answer them and help you out when deciding on this chair or not buying this chair or whatever. Thank you so much for watching. If you really enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be getting back onto my weekly upload schedule officially now with some really exciting content coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your time zone, and until next time, bye-bye.